Hi there, welcome to I Alone Fly Tarot. I'm going to do a tarot card reading for Capricorn energy, and we are going to use the, what's it called? Tea leaf fortune card. So we're going to get these out, get some tarot on it, figure out what could be going on in Capricorn energy, and we're going to read it from a couple different perspectives because people have free will. Some people harness high vibe Capricorn energy. Some people harness a much more worldly focused Capricorn energy, more motivated and inspired by the things of the world, still caught up in the illusion of the world, because life is about you have the opportunity to become enlightened to the fact that there's more to life than just the things of the world, And some people, that's how they live their life, and we just need to see the truth about how different people live their life. So whether you're a Capricorn sun sign or cross-watching, we all harness some Capricorn energy. If you're high vibe, you'd prefer to be in a relationship with some other high vibe people. Because high vibe Capricorn, shadowy Capricorn is represented by the devil. Our shadow nature, all the things that can enslave and imprison us in the world, our ego, our image, making money and materialism too important, addictions, our fear and our insecurity. And high vibe Capricorn is putting in the work and effort to free yourself from that. So listen to your intuition about where you're at in the story and where some other people in your life might be in this story and how they harness their Capricorn energy. So we start out with the Quill card, which says get back to basics. The Lion card, time to act. The Elephant in reverse. A long journey, either physical or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. So I don't think it's a long journey. You've probably been on a long journey, which has made you wiser in the end, and you're done with that leg of the journey. You're ready to move forward in life. And previously, your ego could have stopped you, or your own fear and insecurities, because in order to move forward in life differently, we have to face our fears and our insecurities. And when we kind of are in our ego or fearful of loving and believing in ourselves, we can then have other people in our life who don't want us to go on that journey in life or quit moving forward with them, because then we won't be indulging them in that job or relationship the way we have been, because high vibe energy would be I want a more just and fair and balanced relationship. The Bat, take care, enemies are working against you. And that might have been something, we have to realize our own shadow nature. We all have this dualistic nature. We have the knowledge of good and evil within us. The seeds are planted, and those aspects within ourselves want to run our life. Our shadow nature would love for us to be fearful and insecure and prideful and egotistical. And it's cool, let's go live her life or his life, And they don't really give a damn how our life ends up at the end. It's all about indulging itself in the fear and in the insecurity. And, our shadow natures are more worldly, immature, beastly, lazy nature. And, there's people in the world who would love to be in a relationship with us being in our fear or our codependency, because then we'll indulge them in a relationship. And there's other people who are jealous and petty and jealous and envious, and they don't like it when other people love and believe in themselves, so they try to do things to sabotage them. And then we have happiness. And at the end, we have the Bell card in reverse, which is announcement in reverse, which kind of can be, it can be that, high vibe energy too is kind of about doing the inner work within yourself. It's not to toot your own horn. It's not look at me and look what I'm doing and blah, blah, blah. It's kind of subtle and quiet. Could be part of what it is. But let's go get some cards here. Get back to the basics and the Lion. We have the Two of Wands and the Page of Wands and the Six of Pentacles. And the reason is because of the Knight of Wands. The people who are getting back to basics and realizing it's time to act, they have that hopeful, believing nature, wanting and being inspired to be balanced within themselves. I don't want to take action out of fear and insecurity and pride and ego or lust or greed. And I don't want to be in relationships with other people who are like that. So I'm going to take the action in that hopeful, believing nature. In high vibe, that's what the pages can mean, to get balance within myself. And the Six of Pentacles is Taurus, earth sign energy. It takes work and effort. That's what the Pentacles talk about. Putting in the work and effort, the time, the energy to get balanced within yourself. You know, if you want to get the justice you deserve, which is kind of represented here by the scales of justice, you need to be balanced within yourself. And if previously we'd kind of been maybe a little more immature and kind of reckless and kind of looking to the world or things of the world to make us feel better, we've realized that if we want to have our dreams come into reality, we need to get more balanced and grounded and start taking action to bring our dreams into reality, in either instead of just thinking about it or, you know, running away from putting in the work and effort. And the same way, if you have been dealing with people who harness some shadowy Sagittarius energy, regardless of what zodiac sun sign they are, because we all harness these energies of the zodiac sign traits and characteristics, either in high vibe or a more worldly or a more shadowy way. You know, people are deciding, I don't want to work with those people anymore. I've tried to get them to work with me and be more just and fair and balanced in a relationship, but they're unwilling to do it. You know, it's kind of like they want to harness these energies in a shadowy way where it's like, let's move forward still in this workplace or this relationship. And I get to kind of be immature, and I get to, shadowy Taurus can be prideful, egotistical, stubborn, you know, wanting to be in the job or the relationship because of the money and the status and the image, and kind of them being indulged without them putting in the work to get balance within themselves. And high vibe Taurus acting with character and integrity. You know, some people like to be in relationships because it's good for their image and their status and all those good things, and it's someone they can indulge in, maybe sexually with. And they're kind of immature, maybe not very stable and grounded within themselves. And they like to be in relationships with other people to help make it seem like they're more stable and grounded and like successful and all this stuff in the world. But their intention isn't because of love. It could be more like, I'm motivated and inspired by the money and the image and the status. Or I just want to get in a relationship and exchange resources with someone to indulge myself sexually. And as long as you don't require me to grow and mature myself, I'll keep staying in a relationship. Or if you keep having status and image and, you know, investing in me, I'll keep staying in a relationship with you. But if you ever want me to start getting more balanced, yeah. If you really want me to start walking the talk and like grow and mature myself, no, I'm out of here. So I think high vibe people are just realizing who they do want to work with and who they don't want to invest time and energy with. And they could be communicating to their own more worldly, immature ways of being. I'm not doing that anymore. I'm going to put in work and effort to love and believe in myself, and I'm not going to take impulsive, reckless action in my life just to feel better. I'm going to put in the work and effort to temper. The Lion card, of course, reminds us of the Leo Strength card. I'm going to put work and effort into tempering my fears and my insecurities and my self-limiting beliefs and my more impulsive or indulgent or codependent nature, to temper my own fears and insecurities, because I want to move forward in high vibe Sagittarius energy of looking at life as an adventure to be lived. And I'm tired of repeating this pattern and this way of living my life and the people I might have aligned myself in the world with because of those ways of being. And I'm going to go communicate with the people in the world who I think are on the same page as me, who also, I think, in their high vibe Taurus energy. And of course, we're talking about Capricorn energy. People who've freed themselves also from their more shadowy, manipulative, immature, impulsive, materialistic, selfish, greedy nature. Other people who I think have put in the work and effort to be balanced within themselves, that they've learned lessons in life from past life experience, to be more realizing that if they don't maintain balance within themselves and they keep giving in to enabling poor behavior in themselves or others, it's just going to run their life off into the ditch. And, trying to work, wanting to be that type of person yourself and wanting to work together with other people who are like that. And for some of you, you might have different types of people communicating with you and wanting to take action with you, but why? Are they immature? Are they looking for someone to indulge them? Are they looking for you to exchange your time, energy, effort, hugs, kisses, money with them? And they're willing to use kind of maybe their charm or their sexuality to, or I don't know, your overindulgent loving nature to get you to be in a relationship with them? Or are they coming to you in that, pure innocent nature of, I don't have any intention of trying to manipulate you or control you or tempt you. I want to tell you my truth, that I would like to spend time with you, to get to know you better, to see if kind of like we're on the same page and if we're motivated and inspired by the same things. If you're kind of immature and impulsive, I don't want to move forward with you. If you're just looking for someone to exchange resources with and indulge in a relationship, no. But they also want to find out, high vibe people also want to find out the truth about you. And shadowy people also want to find out if they can tempt you. And so if you're high vibe, you want to communicate and looking for other people who are willing to communicate with you, who look at life as an adventure to be lived, not operating from fear and insecurity and pride and ego. Tell us about a long journey, either physically or mental, will leave you wiser at the end. What does that card have to say? It's in reverse. If you already know people in your life who live more from their mind than their heart, who backstab and betray people, that are immature and, they sabotage themselves in life. And basically, if you get in a relationship with them, they want you to sabotage your dreams and give up your dreams and make your life about indulging and being imprisoned by the same things they're imprisoned by. And if they're imprisoned in their Capricorn energy of the Four of Pentacles by fear and insecurity, I don't want to change, I don't want to move forward, will you stay in a relationship with me and not move forward either? And will you be in a relationship and stay in a relationship with me? Maybe more because of ego and image and money and status. And you're like, no. Why? Because that's an unstable foundation to build your life on. It's going to fall apart anyway, or be very unstable. Because I think this whole world was set up for us to learn to love ourselves. We deserve to be free. That's what high vibe energy is. I deserve to live my authentic life, to be myself in the world, to love myself enough to not let my ego and fears and other people in my life and the world in general try to get me to give up on being authentically who I am and doing what I love and being in relationship with the people I love who motivate me and inspire me to grow and mature myself and face my fears and insecurities. I'm not going to align with those type of people who live their life like that, because they're limiting and restricting themselves, trying to conform to the world, or just making their life about what they wear and what they drive and how much money they have, because that's where they derive their sense of worth and value and love and being with people they love and doing what they love. No, I got to conform to the world. That's where I derive my sense of worth and value, and I'm sure that'll make me happy. Not being free, being imprisoned by your ego in the world, not free to live your authentic life. And you're like, no, I've already been in relationships with people who are like that. And it was very unstable. Because if you're not dealing with people who build a foundation on love, why are they in a relationship with you? I'm fearful. I'm insecure. I'm in my ego. Other people I was in a relationship wanted me to grow up and I left them or they left me. And now I want to get in a relationship with you and indulge in a relationship with you. Will you hold on to me? Will you give up your dreams and sabotage yourself and not believe in yourself and indulge me in a relationship? Because by worldly standards, if we get in the relationship, it might look like we have all the things of the world, but it won't be love. Are you in your fear? Are you in your insecurity? Are you afraid your dreams won't come into reality? Will you settle for less than you deserve? And just like the people that you're going to communicate as you move forward in your life, and as other people you come across in the world, and other people who might communicate with you, some of those people, some of the more shadowy people are people who weren't willing to step out of their comfort zone in the past. They could have had people that were just and fair and loyal and committed and courageous and inspiring and loving and hopeful, but they held back from those people because they weren't willing to step out of their comfort zone, to face their own fears and insecurities. If they're people who like to live more from their mind and their heart, connecting in with their emotions and their intuition can seem really super scary. And they're not willing to do that yet, and that's fine. We all move forward and we all kind of grow and mature and face our fears and insecurities at different times in life. But if you're not willing to stay where they're at and live life the way they live their life, because you've already seen the truth that isn't like a fulfilling way for you to live your life. I mean, it's just like, again, I use the analogy all the time, but age 15, age 18, age 21, age 25, we try to keep up with our peer group, and we have our fears and insecurities of going to all those different ages of being. And when we're that certain age, 15, 18, 21, or whatever, it's appropriate for us to live our life like that because we're in that age group, But then, as we start to grow and, it's time for us to grow and mature ourselves and take on more responsibilities and let go of some of our more immature ways of being and face some of our fears and insecurities. Generally we do that because we can have a lot of peer pressure when we're young to keep up with our peer group. And, oh, I've got to learn to drive. Oh, I've got to go get a job. Oh, I don't like this job. I got to go find another job. That's scary, when you haven't had many jobs before in your life. And also I've got to maybe go to college, or I've got to just learn how to temper my fears and insecurities to believe that I can overcome. And, the more we do that, the more we become proud of ourselves that, I've done this before where I faced things that were scary. And, being brave is being brave in the face of the fact that you're scared, and some people, they get to a certain age in life, and because they might have the things of the world, or they're attractive, or they're charming, or they have social clout, or whatever they got, power, influence, they're just like, oh, I don't have to do any of that work anymore. I'm sure there's people who will want to be in relationship with me, who don't love and believe in themselves or want to live their life just the way I live my life. And they don't want for more, and they want to be in a relationship because of the status and the image, or out of their own fear or codependency. And I'll just work with those people, Some people are motivated and inspired to free themselves from and work through some of their fears and insecurities and self-limiting beliefs. And other people are like, no, I just hide that away. I operate from my ego. I ignore it. I just try to put on a brave face in the world. And I never put any work into putting an end to my more unstable way of living life, or my more fearful or insecure or prideful or immature way of life. I just keep moving forward like this. And it's like, why don't you put work into having a more stable foundation? Well, part of the reason they might not want to put work and effort into having a more stable foundation within themselves is because they'd have to put an end to some of those unstable ways of being that they don't want to let go of, which can be, well, I might like to be kind of immature. I'd have to let go of being more immature. I'd have to quit kind of being more of a player in a relationship where I kind of think it's more about me just indulging myself, and I'd have to grow up. And maybe instead of kind of going back and forth, I'd really have to get grounded within myself to not be juggling, you know? And I really commit to growing and maturing myself. And I hold back from, you know, indulging myself in just things that would make me feel better at the moment. And I really act as someone who is more self-disciplined, has character and integrity, and, not just going for the shallow victory or the shallow win or just to feel better in the moment and soothe my ego. I'd really have to let those ways of being go. And some people don't want to let those things go. And some people are, very much caught up in the world and money and materialism and selfishness and greed. And it would require them to open up more and learn some lessons in life. And some people are just prideful and egotistical and don't want to admit that they have lessons to learn in life. So I think if shadowy people communicate with you, or you meet kind of some more shadowy people as you move forward in your life, I think, you've learned to listen to your intuition from some life experiences you've went through, because your intuition was given to you as a gift to help you navigate through difficult times, just like a bat has sonar and birds and butterflies know to fly to warmer climates in the winter. You've learned to start listening to your intuition, because when you didn't, and part of you is saying, I don't think we should do this, I don't know if this is a good idea, blah, 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 we ignored it and, shit fell apart. So it's like, no, I'm going to listen to my intuition, because why would I keep getting myself in situations that aren't good for me? I've got to put in this work and effort to love myself, to heal, so that I am ready to move forward differently, because the only person I can change and that I should try to change is me. See the truth of the other people I get in relationship with. If I see that they're kind of immature, more about ego and image, or kind of being in transactional relationships, and I don't want to be in a transactional relationship. I want to be in a loyal, committed relationship where people are willing to let go of their more immature ways of being to move forward with me. If they're not that, I'm going to let go, because it's not going to work out anyway. People show us the truth of who they are, and we can stay in denial of it if we want. We'll learn some lessons either way. That's why there's a key on either side. Nothing's wasted in the world. We learn lessons whichever path we choose. It's just that our shadow energy and other people who are in shadowy energy, it kind of has that negative energy of the devil, where it's like, this probably isn't going to turn out the way we thought. Why are we tempted by this? And we all know when we play with fire, we can get burned. And, it is supposed to be where we put, it's like a hot burn, or we put our hands on it. It's like, oh, that hurts. We're supposed to learn the lesson to not put our hand on it. That hurts. Sometimes we haven't loved ourselves, and we almost want to hurt ourselves because we haven't learned to love ourselves. And that's what some people could be doing in their life. So I think you're going to listen to your intuition of which people you need to hold back from, and which people are the people who do want to hold on to you, who want to put an end to not wanting to let a relationship with you go, and they want to hold back from ending a foundation with you because they do love you, and they are on the same page as you, and they are inspired to heal and all of those good things. So then we have the bat. Take care. Enemies are working against you. We have the Page of Cups, and the reason is because of the Eight of Cups. So again, some people could be coming towards you because the people they went to go indulge themselves in, it didn't work out. So then the Pisces Knight of Cups card, they don't have to be a Pisces sun sign. It's just people who kind of live an illusion about, oh, that relationship didn't work out. Oh, they wanted me to grow up and mature myself. Oh, that, whatever. I live an illusion. I'll just go find someone else to indulge in. That person wasn't willing to indulge me in my more immature or selfish or greedy or emotionally defensive ways of being. I'll just go find someone else and create an illusion about why I walked away from that relationship and why I'm coming towards someone else. And For the people who've already dealt with people like that, the reason you were able to do this work within yourself and detach from people like that is because you harness high vibe Pisces energy, which you do listen. You are motivated and inspired to be more stable and grounded within yourself. And you don't like to be in relationships with people once you find out that they're selfish or greedy or immature, or they backstab you and betray you and they want you to give up on your dreams. You're someone who loves yourself enough that you offer yourself love to walk away from illusion, because the Eight of Cups walks away from the Seven of Cups. Some of you particularly could have dealt with someone who harnessed shadowy Scorpio energy, who might be someone, again, who likes to live more from their mind than their heart, who likes to keep their emotions buried beneath the surface, likes to live a more superficial, shallow life, maybe make their life more about, getting in a relationship and staying in the relationship for the status and image. And then they kind of, it's kind of like, well, I'm going to have sex with someone. So, you're who I'll have sex with. But it really isn't where a relationship grows and matures itself and having a deep, meaningful relationship. And you want to have a deep, meaningful relationship. And so this is saying, as you move forward, listen to your intuition about who has really walked away from their illusions that it's okay to be immature and reckless and selfish and prideful and, not do work on yourself to grow and mature yourself. And to be all caught up in the illusion of the world. Isn't this why we get in a relationship? And isn't this why other people want to be in a relationship with me? Who's seen through the illusion? I don't want to just live a life of illusion. I love myself enough to become independent of my more egoic nature and my more worldly focused nature, to have hope and faith and belief and love. Those are the people I want to work with. I don't want people to be in a relationship with me because they're fearful, they're codependent, they're insecure, they want money, they're unstable, they're ungrounded. Even if they were willing to appease me in a relationship, indulge me in a relationship, that keeps me from growing and maturing myself, I want to be in relationships with people who are in my peer group, people who challenge me to face my fears, to let go of some old ways of being, to love myself enough to believe in myself, to move forward into unknown territory, and to be more independent in the world, to know how to fill up my own cup emotionally, to know my own worth and value, not be so codependent on how other people view me for my sense of emotional well-being. If I move forward in truth and love, I don't have to worry about what other people think. They're going to think what they think anyway. If they're loving, generous, compassionate people who realize people have lessons to learn and we make mistakes along the way, and when we know better, we do better, well, they're going to be on the same page as us and wish us peace. And the people who aren't there and maybe like to drive their sense of worth and value by shaming other people, or people who live their authentic life and believe in themselves or step outside the norm and, aren't conforming to the world and making their life all about those things, well, they'll say that you're probably, idealistic and immature. So I think as you move forward, it's just to be aware, because we've learned these difficult lessons, and part of the reason we could have went through these difficult life lessons is because we could have been kind of naive and gullible. And if you're someone who's kind of motivated to put in work and effort to shed some of your old ways of being and fears, to believe in love, is to realize not everybody else views the world that way. And there's a lot of people that would rather do anything other than have to be emotionally vulnerable, or, and why? Probably because they did it before and things didn't work out. And instead of loving themselves and healing from that situation and giving themselves all the things that they wish people in their past would have given them, it's kind of like offering yourself love and compassion and forgiveness and being like your own best mother, father, and coach voice in your own head. Some people let it completely destabilize them. It's kind of like negative energy won, and they didn't love themselves. It's like they didn't realize that there were enemies working against them. We have this dualistic nature. We live in a dualistic world. You know, the shadow energy is like represented by the devil, the loving energy represented by the divine. This is spiritual warfare that goes on within us and within every person. And negative energy in the world tries to stop loving people from loving and believing in themselves. And loving energy tries to help people love and believe in themselves, to realize when things are unhealthy, unstable, unjust, unfair, when people are being selfish and greedy and immature, trying to get us to realize we need to let that foundation go. It's not a foundation based on love. And it starts within us loving ourselves, to become more independent, to be able to fill our own cup so we can separate ourselves from people like that in our life. And even though those people might be people in our life that we love, like our children and our siblings and our parents and things like that, or romantic interests, if people aren't treating us in a just and fair and loving manner, we should hold back from them and separate ourselves. There's consequences for actions. If we keep enabling people in their poor behavior, they think there's no consequences. And out of love and respect, you don't have to treat people in a shadowy way. It's just, I'm going to not be spending much time with you anymore. From the 6 to the 4, I'm no longer going to be investing time, energy, and effort and hugs and kisses and things with you. I'm going to distance myself from you because I don't think this is loving. You're not acting in a loving way. You're not being just. You're not being fair. You're being immature and selfish and greedy and wanting to be indulged. That's unjust. That's unfair. So I'm going to invest in loving myself, because it seems to just pour out on the floor over here, and it's like wasted effort. You know, people can choose to accept your love and do this work within them to heal. And if they're not, it's like, you know, why throw your pearls to swine in a way, you know? It's going nowhere. It's bearing no fruit. So it's like, you know what? I'm going to invest in loving myself, and I'm going to distance myself from you, and I'm going to go invest in the people who want to move forward with me, who are willing to detach from their illusions of what it means to be in a relationship or a friendship or a romantic relationship or a workplace, to go find the people in the world who are more aligned with love and hope and faith and belief, and not fear and insecurity and pride and ego and bossiness and immaturity and control. People who believe in their dreams, who love themselves enough to work together with other people in an energy of love. But there's always, shadowy energy is always going to exist, because you always have the free will. So as you move forward in your life, you know, we can all be tempted every day. We all know we could probably go out in the world and get ourselves in a lot of trouble if we wanted to, because trouble's out there if we wanted to align with it. And some people, sadly, you know, weren't willing to become more emotionally independent from some ways of being within themselves, maybe because they're kind of immature and they have a lot of growing up to do. And therefore, could also have other people in their life that they're codependent on for their sense of stability and security. And that could just be the world at large. I can't go live my authentic life because I'm really codependent of looking to the world to validate my sense of worth and value and who I am as a person. And they just got a lot of lessons to learn. You know, back here, we don't even have any cups. You know, back here, it's the world and being motivated, taking action in the world. And when are we going to realize that not making love the foundation we build our life upon isn't probably going to end up the way we thought? And some people are still sure that if they make their life about the world and hanging out with the people that they're codependent on, or make their life more about the world or indulge them, that's it. That's living life. I got someone to indulge me. I got someone fearful and afraid. They're going to be codependent on me forever. I'm living the dream. Or they go indulge in the things of the world and we're all happy doing it. That's fine. They can live their life that way. It's just that if that's not your dream, then we need to have hope and faith and belief in our dreams. If we realized my dream can't come into reality here with these people, we operate from different foundations. We have different goals and we're motivated and inspired by different things. I need to love myself enough to keep believing in my dreams. Tell us about the happiness card. Judgment, Nine of Pentacles, King of Pentacles, because of the Five of Wands. The fives in tarot can talk about change because there's a maximum of 10 in each suit. You could be 10 swords up in your head. You could be all down in your feelings or in your lust or in your greed or whatever. You know, the fives talk about getting to a place of balance within yourself. And the Five of Wands is Leo energy. The people that are in shadowy energy, they're probably not going to change. If you know some people that are prideful, egotistical, fearful, afraid, immature, like to live more from their mind than their heart, don't like to connect in with their emotions or listen to their intuition, and they kind of sabotage themselves in relationships out of their fear and insecurities or whatever, or their bossy, controlling ways or immature ways. Those people are going to probably keep moving forward the way they've been living life, because that's what they're sure will make them happy. If they were to do love, they'd get hurt. They'd have to change their life. They'd have to let go of some ways of being that they don't want to let go of. And they'd have to maybe let go of some people in their life that they're codependent on, that they don't want to let go of. So those people think the idea of happiness is to decide, for some of them, that they just want to be single. And then present themselves as like a stable, grounded, wise, nurturing person, and operate from their ego. And maybe, the wands can be about like lust and greed. Some people just want to go indulge in the world. I don't even want to be in a relationship. I don't want to exchange resources and be in a relationship. I have illusions that I can just be a player, and I want to go be a player. And sometimes some people weren't that type of person kind of until they either feel like they have enough money and status and stability that, oh, now that I seem to have these things, I can tempt, they're becoming like the devil. I can tempt other people to try to get them in relationship with me because I have those things of the world, that I'll use those things of the world to try to tempt people into their own inner conflict about, if I get in a relationship with this person and then I end up finding out that they're kind of more really not on the same page as me, but they do have the stability or the security or the things of the world that I want, am I willing to stay in a relationship with them anyway, even though I have inner conflict about it? Or am I going to love and believe in myself? Some of the people right now who've kind of been living their life like that have been maybe thinking that they're just going to keep being able to go from relationship to relationship. But the problem they have is that there's people in the world who do listen to their intuition. And as people gain more life experience in life, when we were young and we were all immature and impulsive and stuff, it was appropriate in a way to almost be like that because we were like 18, 21 or whatever. We were hanging out with other people who had a lot of growing up and maturing to do. We were all immature and impulsive. But, this could be even people who are older than that, but they keep thinking like, oh, I can go back to like life like that in a way where, I can present myself as more grounded and stable. But basically I'm going to be like an 18 to 21-year-old or 25-year-old where, I don't really move forward with people in a relationship. Or now, if I am going to move forward in a relationship, it's because of the money and the materialism. And I want to make sure it's someone either that because they have enough money, I'm willing to indulge them, or getting in a relationship with someone who is more about money and ego and image too, just like me, so that we're on the same page. And then I'm willing to deal with my own inner conflict about just being in a relationship with someone just because I want those things of the world. But if they're more motivated by the world, they're maybe not that motivated by love. And we can all be superficial and shallow and maybe stay in the relationship just because we're competitive. But if there's someone who's been thinking, Either that they could go back to someone that they previously backstabbed because they wanted to go dally in something else. And now that that didn't work out, some of them are thinking, oh, I'll just go find someone else. Or maybe I'll try to go back to the person who I backstabbed before. They might find out that other people have grown and matured themselves while they were off playing and repeating old patterns. Other people were living life and growing and maturing themselves and learning lessons in life, and have learned to appreciate their own worth and value and free themselves, because I view the King of Pentacles as Capricorn energy. And they've grown and matured themselves and learned to love themselves enough that they're no longer interested in their ego about people who live their life like that, or even people who might have backstabbed and betrayed them anymore. It's like, I moved on. I put it behind me. I'm taking more bold, brave, confident action in my life. And the people I want to invest in are other people who've gained that insight and wisdom, who've learned lessons in life. I'm no longer in the competition competing for people who act like this. You're going to have to go find other people. And so, because some of those type of people know they can't be in that type of relationship with you, they're going to go make an offer to someone else. But again, if that person knows their worth and value, it can take time to kind of see through the illusion, because, the older people get, the better they get at wearing their false mask, and they perfect it better. And so it can take a long time for people to see through the illusion and realize that people aren't who they present themselves to be. People can have a lot of stability and security and all these things that make them seem like they're a much more grounded, stable, emotionally mature person than they are. And you get in a relationship with them, which is what they might do, is get in a new relationship. For some of them, they might even get in a new marriage. But then as they move forward in that relationship, the same pattern's going to happen. If people aren't being truthful and honest, and they're not doing the work within themselves to grow and mature themselves, or deal with their fears and insecurities and how they sabotage themselves and sabotage their relationships, the same thing's going to happen again. The next relationship is going to end. If they do get in, and if some of those people try to come back to you high vibe people, it's just like, no, I'm no longer in my ego about it. I'm no longer competing or fighting for you. I'm looking for the grown and matured people, and you might have a new beginning with some people who aren't as high vibe Virgo, high vibe Capricorn, high vibe Leo, and have a new beginning with those people. Let's go to the last card. The reason for the reading is the Bell card announcement upside down. Okay. Oh, was that like that? Okay. You're moving in silence, apparently. People don't know what you're doing. And that could be really, sometimes shadowy people in our life are hoping, if we love and believe in ourselves and know our worth and value, sometimes they don't like that because they want us to live life the way they want us to live life, and kind of keep indulging them. And sometimes those people will do hurtful things in a relationship, partly because, they're taking a foolish risk, thinking that if you move forward in life, you'll have this inner conflict, finding maybe someone else to get in a relationship possibly, or just making your life about focusing on your career or something. Could be what the Nine of Pentacles and King of Pentacles means, like that they're thinking that things won't work out, I think, in the Bell announcement in reverse card, and that you'd want to come back and get in a relationship with them, and then you are willing to give up on your dreams. And for some of those people, they're having a tower moment right now because none of that played out. They were like sitting back here, sure that I'm going to go dally in whatever I want to go involve myself in. And I bet as you move forward, you'll meet other people. Things won't work out, and that is part of life, that we can go get new relationships. That relationship doesn't work out. But they were hoping if that next relationship or something didn't work out, that you'd come back to them. And for some of you, because they're kind of in shadowy energy, you're like, I don't care if the next relationship I get in doesn't work out. I'm going to take the lesson I learned from that life experience. Now I'm even more less naive and gullible than I was before. I've learned more lessons in life. I'm more stable and grounded within myself than I was before because I keep learning how to listen to my intuition to guide me and love to guide me into knowing my worth and value. And for some of those people, it's causing them a tower moment because you've moved on, possibly having new beginnings with people. And they're seeing the truth that when they had the opportunity to move forward in love, because they had inner conflict about being more independent and being willing to humble themselves to admit that they maybe had some lessons to learn, they instead might have thought, I think I'll become single of you. I think I got the money and the stability and the status and the image. I think I can go find someone else to go get involved with. And they could have found out, because see, it's different. If you have good traits and qualities and characteristics, you're loving, you're just, you're fair, you're nurturing, you're supportive, you're encouraging, you have a better time finding someone to be in a relationship than with someone who didn't put in work and effort to grow and mature themselves, and they're taking their shadowy ways out on the road. And other people say, ooh, yeah, you're kind of immature, you're kind of bossy or selfish or immature, like to indulge in love, but you never really want to put in the work and effort to bring the dream into reality, or it is more about you and ego and image or indulging you, and no thanks. And then those people move on to get in relationships with other people. So it's kind of funny that the people who thought they were going to cause all this havoc in life, because maybe some people were kind of full of themselves, and not everybody who ends a relationship with us wishes us ill. Some people just have some lessons to learn, and they wished us peace and love when they didn't move forward with us in a relationship. But there's some people who it's like, they are in that kind of petty, competitive, jealous energy. And if you weren't willing to do the relationship their way, and they're kind of full of themselves, yeah, they want to tear you down. And at least then, if their other relationship doesn't work out, then you're in negative energy and more codependent energy, and they know you're a loving, nurturing person, and they want you to do the relationship their way. But if you're not willing to indulge them, yeah, they try to completely backstab and betray you so that it'll stop you from believing in yourself and even being willing to get in another relationship. And then they think like, I don't know, that they're powerful or something. So let's see what's going on. What's not showing itself? The Eight of Pentacles. Well, the Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy, and that is going within to do work and effort within yourself, to soul search, to gain that insight and wisdom. Some people, I think you are appearing like this in the world, and you're moving forward in workplaces and relationships with people and having new beginnings. And other people can't figure out, well, for one, they might not figure out why you're not bragging about it and blah, 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 all about it. It's because, you don't need to do that in order to feel proud of yourself or enjoy your life. Maybe you don't really care for everybody to know your business. And you do a lot of this work in your life of being more stable and grounded and nurturing and loving within yourself, and maybe even who you're communicating with or investing in your life, not making it like a public show, which some of these other people could do for the purpose of trying to cause competitive energy in other people, envy in other people. Look at me. Look what I'm doing. Look how, the newest conquest I had or whatever, and you're not doing any of that. And people are like, what the hell are they doing? It seems like they're moving forward. How are they doing that? And why aren't they like bragging about it? And part of it is because you're not harnessing worldly Virgo energy. It isn't about putting in work and effort. Look at me, look at me, look how victorious and successful I am. It's more like I'm more motivated and inspired to be at peace within myself, grounded within myself, stable within myself, working with other people who are loving and stable, and it's not for show. And the reason that card came out is because of the Justice card. And maybe again, that could be that, you know, when you do the work within yourself to be balanced within yourself, to love yourself, to believe in yourself, it isn't about the show, you know, because that's in our ego energy. It can be wanting to be in the spotlight, put on a show. And I think you've done all this work within yourself to get balance within yourself. And if you knew some people that were more aligned with their shadowy Virgo, Leo, Libra energy, where it was more about wanting to either be indulged or be single with money or be in relationships based more on money, I would say justice has been served. And you kind of got your divine inheritance, and they can't figure out how that worked out for you when they thought they were so smart, living more from their mind than their heart. But the devil tries to get what they want by trying to cheat the justice system, right? But justice was served. And if they didn't act with character and integrity and love, they're going to reap what they've sown, which is probably getting in relationships where they're going to learn some difficult lessons. Some of those people could have gotten in relationships with people who backstabbed and betrayed them. Because if they're more about ego and image and all that stuff, guess what people they might go to hang out with? Other people who they think are motivated by ego and image. And then when people get in a relationship with them for those reasons, and it's not love, well, someone else comes along that's got more money, more status, more image. Oh, I'm going to let this relationship go. See ya. I'm going to go invest in this person because I didn't get in the relationship with you because of love anyway. I was doing it because I was in my ego. I wanted to look victorious. I wanted to seem like the winner. I was in my competitive energy. But now that you got in the relationship with me and you let go of like the loving people in your life, well, I kind of got my ego fixed. Bye. I'm off to go find someone else in the world who I can tempt in their lust and their greed and their pride and their ego to quit loving themselves and reject the loving people in their life to come be tempted by me, the devil, and the world. And I think the shadowy people, if they don't want, the truth sets us free. And if some people aren't willing to see the truth of how they could have been tempted by the devil, which we've all ran our life off into the ditch because we hadn't learned to love ourselves, and we thought for sure it was the drugs and the alcohol and the booze and the gambling and living the dream was going to make us happy. We didn't have to love ourselves. We didn't have to grow and mature ourselves. Until they're willing to see the truth of it and put an end to aligning with that way of thinking, they're going to keep moving forward. Some of them just looking to get in the next relationship with someone because they have this illusion about, that if they just find the right person to where they don't have any inner conflict within themselves anymore. But that's making someone else, like looking at someone and having an illusion. If I go get in a relationship with someone, you're supposed to make me happy. If I get in a relationship with you and then my fears or my insecurities and my self-doubt bubble up, you didn't do your job. I need to leave you to go find someone else to get in a relationship with because my fears and insecurities bubbled up again. And if you're the right person, we have to look at it when we're in a relationship and kind of our fears or insecurities bubble up. We have to look at, is this something within me based on my past or something? Or is my partner doing something to try to instill fear and insecurity in me? And that's not loving. And someone who loves you shouldn't want to try to have you in fearful, competitive energy. And high vibe people end up leaving people who are like that. So some of the people right now who've been manipulative in relationships could be in for a shock because some of those people are just going through that now. And the loving people in their life have been trying to encourage them to move forward with them in love, to have some hope and faith and belief in love, to let go of their fears and insecurities, to know their worth and value, and that other people want to be in a relationship with and love them. But we can't make other people get out of their fear and insecurity and know their worth and value. And eventually, if the other people just don't have hope and faith and belief and love, we've got to see the truth that our dreams can't come into reality with them. And if they would rather live life the way they've been living it, and that's not our dream relationship, where we kind of have to keep indulging them while they kind of stay in a more immature energy, some people are going to be leaving some of those relationships or workplaces right now. And some of the shadowy people are going to be shocked. Some of the people who already left people like that behind, those people thought initially it was going to be a party, and just now they're starting to realize, shit, this isn't going the way I thought, and I might have thought they would have come back, or I thought I'd have all these people to go indulge myself in, and really none of these are what it was like when I was in a relationship with people who are more loving and just and fair. Maybe I can go try to get back in a relationship with them, and some of those are realizing that, oh shit, those people have seen the truth, because Virgo in the Hermit, well, that wasn't the Hermit, but the Eight of Pentacles is Virgo energy too. Our Virgo energy is the aspect of ourself that goes within to see the truth, not be in denial of the truth. And when we see the truth, we can call judgment on people who align with the competition, who don't choose love and justice and fairness. And if any of those people try to come back around, it's like, no, I'm not caught up in illusion about you anymore. I've moved on. I've called judgment on people who try to make me feel like I need to fight and compete for them. Love is a free will choice, and you didn't choose love, so I wish you peace, but I've moved on. And that's what's really could be destabilizing some people right now, because they don't know if people have done the work to know the truth about what's just and fair. And so long as people aren't balanced within themselves and illuminated to the truth, then other people think that they can come manipulate you and play on your fear and your insecurity and your pride and your ego and your lust and your greed. But they don't know if you've done the work or not. So then it's like, shit, I want to go maybe approach them, but I don't know if they know the truth. And if they do know the truth, I don't want to approach them because they'll call judgment on me. And so I guess it's kind of a tangled web we weave when we practice to deceive, right? Because some of those people would like to go back and get relationships. And there wouldn't be a problem for them approaching other people if they had been illuminated to the truth, because illuminating yourself to the truth means you humbled yourself, not in your ego. I accept and realize you should have called judgment on me. And I just want to tell you, I'm sorry for the way I acted in the past. I had a lot of growing up and maturing to do. And I'm sorry if the way I could have acted hurt you, or I know it hurt you, or I know I backstabbed you, or I know I had these ways of being. And it really doesn't, you're not afraid of judgment. Bring it on. I've already seen the truth. I've seen how I've backstabbed and betrayed myself. And I'm willing to, in love, come to offer you peace. I don't expect you to even want to get back in a relationship with me. I just want to tell you I'm sorry, And the people who are willing to do that wouldn't have this inner conflict about approaching people. And those are the kind of people you're looking for in your life that, have a humble disposition where they're willing to admit when they were wrong. Not the people who are so prideful and egotistical that I don't want to be held accountable for my actions. I only want to be with people who are in denial, who are fearful, who are insecure, who are codependent. Okay. So I think the shadowy people, they reject harnessing this energy in a high vibe way. They're not willing to go within and put in work to get balance within themselves. So they keep staying out of balance, and they're going to keep moving forward, clinging to this unstable way of being, having these illusions that life's about either indulging themselves in the world, that they should be able to indulge themselves in relationships, or they're very competitive in the world and it's all about money and materialism, and they think that's what's going to make them happy, and they have a lot of life lessons to learn that will not bring them what they want because they're not planting the right seeds. And they might find that people have inner conflict about working together with them. They want what they want. They want the justice the way they view what they think is just and fair, but they might end up finding out that other people aren't willing to work with them because other people don't think that's just and fair. Okay, so what's coming up? Oh, no, wait. Did I? Yeah, I wanted to use a different deck. What's coming up for the people who harness high vibe Capricorn energy? Well, something we maybe don't know yet, but it's going to bring you your divine inheritance. High Priestess, Cancer Pisces energy. This is Pisces energy. Pisces energy. Well, I think for one, listening to your intuition, like your higher self, if I were to look back on my life from 10 years, how would I wish that I navigate the situation and time in my life? I want to take action in my life now so that in 10 years from now, when I look back at this, I'm proud of myself, that I took action, that I tried to be as just and fair as I could. Again, we can end jobs and relationships and we don't have to be an ugly energy. We don't have to get all caught up in the anger, even though we might have anger and all that. That it's like, it's just not the energy I choose to be in. I choose to be in an energy of peace. If other people are going to act like this, then they're going to act that way regardless. I've already tried to maybe love and encourage them. That didn't work. I certainly don't want to get in the dirt with them and play the game they want me to probably play the game in. I refuse to do that. I'm going to keep maintaining my balance, acting in ways that I can be proud of. And I think there's other people who are intuitive, which is what the High Priestess talks about, that you are in this balanced energy, and that if they were to work together with you in relationships, in workplaces, in marriages, that they would have a just and fair and loving and nurturing and supportive relationship, because you do this work within yourself to align with the higher truth, which is what high vibe universal justice energy would be about. It's not about the worldly things that we think is just and fair. It's adhering to a higher truth and justice in a relationship. Not just what I want and what I think is just and fair. And aligning with other people who align with the higher truth, acting with character and integrity. Being free from your more beastly, egoic nature. What do the people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Capricorn energy, what do they not see coming up in their life? The Magician and the Six of Cups because of the Five of Pentacles. Well, for one, I don't think that they thought the loving people in their life that they could have rejected are going to manifest working together with others and having a deep, meaningful relationship and an emotionally balanced relationship and moving away from them to go get in these other relationships. They didn't think that maybe some of those loving people would do that because they've never done that. They keep being manipulated by the past. Their fear and their insecurity and not believing in themselves and their past pain and heartbreak keeps them caught up in the illusion of feeling like left out in the cold. And instead of doing the work within themselves to love and heal themselves, You know, they think, no, I can keep moving forward with my more worldly view of life. I bet I can manipulate people to work together with me in a relationship and move forward with me. And the thing is, they might have a hard time finding people who want to work together with them if they're not being authentic and warm and loving and nurturing and, having a little hope and faith and belief, and people start to feel they're manipulated. People are going to move away from them. Who might be the people who might keep moving forward with them in a relationship? Maybe some other people who have some growing up and maturing to do, and they haven't wanted to see the truth. And, then we get drawn and attracted to being in relationships with people because we have lessons to learn from them. And the people who kind of got in relationships with people who harness either a more worldly Capricorn energy, it could have just been, I'm not as driven and motivated to live my life for those reasons, and I'm not all caught up in the ego and the image, and I certainly don't want you to be in a relationship with me for those reasons. I don't want to just stay in a relationship with you for those reasons. I want love. And then we can get in a relationship with other people who are more bossy and controlling, and it's all to help us learn to love ourselves, that I deserve better than this, But they might find someone who they're either going to learn lessons from too, and they're going to feel left out in the cold. And the whole thing is to try to get them to see the truth and let go of some of these ways of being that kind of manipulate them. If they try to manipulate someone in a relationship to move forward with them, for some of them, they might find out that the people who are moving forward with them, if they're not operating from high vibe energy, they're not in the relationship with an underlying hope of love. They could get someone who's willing to work with them because they're more aligned with their worldly Taurus energy, which is about, I'm all about the ego and the image and the money and the materialism. And I am willing to create an illusion that you and me are working together emotionally because it's good for my ego and my image and my status. I might not know how to love myself. I might repeat these past patterns. I might create the illusion in my Scorpio energy that I'm willing to have a deep emotional relationship with you, but that's just an illusion in order to get you to move forward with me in a relationship. And I'm just manipulating you emotionally. So if there is some people in the world who use their emotions manipulatively to get what they want, and they are more worldly focused, what goes around comes around, and they'll have someone who tries to present themselves as loving to get someone to get in a relationship with them. But they don't plan to put in work and effort to be just and fair in the relationship. They just want what comes with being in the relationship. It makes me feel less left out in the cold. I'm hoping to feel more stable and abundant and grounded within myself. But it's more, they could be someone who's a little more stubborn and prideful, and their underlying philosophy of life also might be that I manipulate people to work with me in a relationship to get what I want. And if any of you know someone who tries to create an illusion about who they are and emotionally manipulate people for status and image and whatever purposes, I think those people are going to get in a relationship with someone who's just like themselves. And then maybe that will finally make them realize, like, oh my gosh, is that how I am in relationships? Is that what it's like to be in a relationship with me? It's like, yes, it is. You thought that should be good enough for other people. Is it good enough for you? And if it's good enough for them, they'll keep moving forward in it, because giving up their dreams to have the money and the status and the image, and they're going to learn the lesson that I thought if I had all those things, that really didn't matter. I had someone I was going to have sex with, figured I could just have sex with anybody and it didn't really matter. Sex is sex. There's a difference between being in a relationship with people who love you and that you could love versus just thinking, I can just have sex with people. Won't it be the same? It's like, no, that's kind of more like acting like an animal. And it might make you feel left out in the cold and like you only have half of what you wanted. And you thought the things of the world were going to make you feel like you had it all. But if you don't operate connecting in with your emotions and your intuition and being more balanced within yourself, you don't cultivate that in a relationship. And other people who cultivate that aren't going to want to be in a relationship with you if you're not like that. And the people who are maybe willing to be in a relationship with you like that are the other people who don't cultivate that. So they're not very loving and nurturing. And, shadowy energy is like creating the illusion that you have everything that everyone else has. It's just that other people truly are in nurturing, loving, creative, inspired, balanced relationships. And the other people are just trying to create the illusion that they have that. So there you go, Capricorn. I wish you peace, love, and joy. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.